tutorial on some things in After Effects. I already imported some of my starter footage. Bring that in my new comp. It's basically just a blank mat. Let's random play it. Nothing's in it. I just took a picture of took a video of a wall. I don't know. I wanted to cover some basics today about masking. I'll try to get to that. If I can't, then I'll do it in some other tutorial. But I'm gonna try to get masking using keyframes and some stuff like that. Just stuff like putting pictures in too. So yeah, that's good right there. Okay. Now you wanna, well, you don't really have to do this, but this would be great practice. Just take like a picture or anything of just like a blank wall or cement, just something where there's no people or anything in it. Just like, I'm gonna call mine a blank mat because that's actually what they're called. So then drag in your own composition and go ahead and download some cool images off of Google. They can either have a black background or you can edit them to be transparent background, but you need a black or transparent background. Then you can import all your stuff. I looked for some stuff and I put it in my stuff, or I put it in here actually. And let's find it. There's a bunch of stuff in here. I found an alien, which I'm not going to use unless I get time to. Let's find where it was at. Oh, here's my fireballs. And open those. I don't know why it's taking a second. I'll do it again. Ball. Oh. Copy. I just copied a fireball apparently. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Just, I guess we'll just double click on them. Apparently something's wrong with that, which is weird. Let's try the regular. Oh, okay, that worked. Oh, shoot. Just go file, input file. And oh, here we go, man. Nice ball. Please tell me. Okay, cool. Nice ball. Now we got our man, and we'll zoom in here. Just oh, too fast. Okay. Now you want to drag what your basically character is going to be. I'm just going to leave them like that because there's really nothing I can do. I'll try one thing. That didn't work too much. Just a little. And I don't want to go and just like have to redo all this, so okay, that didn't work. Just go with overlay. Yeah, this is kind of transparent, if you can see. And now we're gonna import the rest of the stuff. I just have 2 fireballs. This should work with blending mode. So here we go. Then another fireball. Don't know why I imported this stuff. It can be really any kind of gimmicks that you want, gun, whatever. Nice ball. Ooh. Oh yeah, you just have to drag it on blending mode. And we got our things. So let's go with step 1. To put something over something, you want to click on this and hold down Control or Command and click left bracket for down and right bracket for up. Another way to do that is just to hold here and drag it up. And I want my man on the bottom because I want everything able to go over it because he's not exactly that transparent. So if you see, I have my footage right here, and if I put anything below my footage, it won't show at all. That's because the footage is it's the background basically. If I move this off the screen and put this below my footage, it will show. But if I have this on the screen like I want, it shouldn't show if I put it below. So I'm going to keep these above, and you always want to keep the effects that you want to show above your footage. And so let's just enable that out. First, I'm going to be talking about keyframes. And a keyframe is basically it's a marker for Adobe After Effects. And these markers you can like signal effects or just variables to change. So we're going to start with a man, or we're going to have our man walk across the screen. So we have our guy here, we move him out of the screen. It doesn't really matter if you have him in, but I'm just going to start off moving him out. Then we click down on this. This is very important. Clicking down on that. You'll use keyframes a lot when you start to get in real movie making. The default for click down is transform, or so it is for the workspace text. And I'm using CS4. If you have a newer version, then that might be different. So we're going to click down on man, and there's shortcuts to make things show. And the shortcut to make the position show is P. If you click P, you click that time watch, it will show a little keyframe. That's called the keyframe. You can delete it by just clicking delete, and if you're off it and it's gray and you want to delete it, you can't just hit delete, or it'll delete whatever you're selecting right now. You want to click on it and hit delete. There you go. And you know whenever you're on it because it's yellow. So you want to go to the spot where you want the man to finish moving across the screen. If I go all the way here, it's going to be really slow. If I go all the way, or right here, it's going to be really fast. Notice this, I make this mistake sometimes, but if you click the stopwatch, it's going to try to add a first one, but there's already first one, so it's going to like take away your first keyframe. So just hit Control Z or Command Z and click this button. And now you take your character and move him across the screen. See this little line? That tells Adobe After Effects to move him within these two keyframes. Now if we RAM play this, you'll see that he starts to move at the first keyframe and ends at the second keyframe. It's going to be pretty fast. You might not even be able to see it. Let's go through that one more time and see if we can get that. It's probably going to be kind of hard to... Yeah, you see that goes really fast. In order to make this more casual, you select your last keyframe and pull it back a little. And I'm going to put it right here, that looks like normal walk. But remember not to select your first keyframe, because if you select your first keyframe, it will start there and move there. You don't want that. Anyway, let's walk through this. It will probably look, yep, it's looking a little more realistic. Not that it actually looks realistic at all, but more in this sake. Okay, let's see. That's about normal speed. And like I said, you can make it go really fast, really slow. That's how you do all the clip stuff. You drag it up or down, or I mean that's how you do all the shell stuff. When you're shooting a gun, you put the shell image in, then you use a position keyframe to pull it down to the ground. And if you look at my footage for the final gunshot thing, then you'll see what it is. Just go to my last tutorial and click on the annotation. Okay. Now that we got that, we're gonna do something else. We're gonna mask this guy, because if you do turn out with something like that where it's not perfect, there's a way you can fix that. So you want to go plus. If you try this with a movie, you'll notice the result isn't the same. Or if you try this with your footage. If I try this with my blank mat and I mask out this area, just let's say this little box right here, then everything but this box will be black. There will be a blank screen after that. And if you want, like, let's say you wanted, like, your character just to mask out your character, then it would mask out the box, and when your character walks by here, he would disappear after that frame if it was in the footage. And you don't really want to do a lot of masking if you want to animate the mask. I mean, that's definitely, you will definitely animate the mask once you get more advanced, but we're mostly going to be using masking for pictures. So you take your mask tool, make sure you select a layer, because if you don't, then it will come up with a stupid thing that I hate, it drives me nuts, called a shape layer. And all this does is make, I mean, you can use it, but it makes a red shape. It's just annoying. So delete that, delete your shape layer, click on this, make sure it's not that, because then it will mask out this footage. And then you want to click on whatever your man is or whatever. And it's not yet necessary to follow along, but just, it gives you a lot of practice. Yeah, you can zoom in if you want, control or command plus. And there we go around, blah blah blah, it will take a second. But you really don't need to mask out this complex unless you're making like a Cinemax movie, which is unrealistic. So this is looking pretty good for masking. You want to go around his head. Also, another thing you can do with the pen tool is you can take it, you can add one, and then you can, or wait, add one, hold it down, and you can make it all crazy. Don't like using that all the time. I mean, it's a good tool if you're going around objects, but there you go. And there's our man, and basically only our man. If we select on him, he'll do the same transition, and he looks more like regular because we masked out the side. So now what we're gonna do is learn how to, like, I got into masking a little, so actually we'll go and use the mask and see what keyframes it has, since we are on a mask layer right now. If we select them, and man, you'll see under it says masks. Click on the masks and click on the masks again. You can change the color for the mask if you want, if you don't want to like default yellow, but I've already learned to like know it's yellow, so I'm gonna change that back. Okay, and then you want to go, if you click on mask feather, this helps a lot when you're making animations within footage. And what that does is basically when you create a mask in a footage on the side, it has a bit of a, you can kind of see the dullness of the footage here and then the footage within the mask, so you can see where you cut out the mask. And if you change the feather or the feather up, it will make the mask it will make it harder to see the difference. Mask path is another useful one. You click on this, you can go here, change up the mask path, hold down control, and blah blah blah. You can do whatever, and that gives you another keyframe. So when you play it, it will go like that. And that will be useful in another tutorial I'm going to be teaching soon. Mask opacity and expansion is the size. You don't want to play with those too much. But something I learned from a really good effects website, which I'll tell you the URL at the end, but it's very useful. This is how I learned masking from them. But this one guy drives me nuts because he did something. He selected this mask, and you see how this happens. You can do this. He did something kind of cool, and it would help a lot if I knew it during the video, but he didn't tell us how. I just saw him click and it changed. He clicked it to change like that, and this is very useful because it only expands the mask, not the thing inside it too. So you'll use both of those, but the way he did that is, here, I'll just get regular. He double clicked on the side. He double clicked on the spot where the pen was, but not where where the pen was though, not where the middle, because the middle will just give you this. If you double click on the middle, it will bring you this thing, which is kind of crazy. But you want to double click on the outlining, and you'll get this, and you can expand it crazy big, and you can like rotate it. Yeah, some crazy stuff. Something else. And when I said control click, that's only if you're like selected on. Whenever the shortcut for this is control. So if you're not selected on that, blah blah blah. But to get that, click in the middle. Do whatever you want with that. To get the special thing, click in your layer if you don't have it highlighted. But double click right there. Or yeah, the mask. So also if you want to just expand this like that, all you have to do is click on it with this tool. Okay? Not the pen tool, because the pen tool will just make this go away. And that's a lot about masking. That's a lot that you'll need to learn. Stuff like that. You can mask to get things gone, like here. If I just click on Fireball, I can just mask out half of it. I think it's this one, yeah. Okay. Go like that, and it will mask out half, or all of the Fireball except the highlighted area. Yeah, it's a pretty useful tool, and you'll learn to love it. So, now some other basics. Let me think. You know the position, and you should practice that a lot, because position helps. Okay, I think that's a lot of the basics that we covered up. Masking is the number one thing that you really want to get used to. Let me check the time and basics.